To my video on how to establish a 501c3. Okay, so we know that at this time with COVID, there are a lot of foundations, trust, private trust specifically, private equity trust, and just ultra wealthy who are giving away money. Why are they giving away money right now? Because they know that the economy is in a bind. And what most foundations do, trust, equity, trust, which is ultra rich or ultra wealthy, if you don't know the abbreviation, what they do is they, meaning when I say they, I'm meaning all the three parties that I'm speaking of, okay? They begin to give money to help nonprofit organizations that are established. So, if you are established with a 501c3 tax exempt letter from the IRS, then you qualify as a charitable organization. But there's a catch to that. Just because you have the letter, you still have to have filed taxes consistently. If you miss filing taxes for more than 3 years, they will revoke your letter. So some people, not people, some organizations who have the tax exempt letter has not filed taxes, and therefore when they go to retrieve grant funding, they are denied. And they're denied because guess what? They no longer are 501c3. So there are tricks and trades, levels, there are gives and takes to this, but the ultimate goal is to receive free grant money from those organizations who are giving it away. I mean, they are literally trying to throw it at the right organization that has the right plan for the right community, right? I know that's a lot of rights, but it's all true. And so, how do you get to that plan? Well, first of all, you need to be an established 501c3, which, of course, my company can help you do that because it is a process for that. And I'm not talking about just a church, okay? Because a church is technically tax exempt, but they're not 501c3 status. I know. People say, oh, a church is a 501c3. No, they are not legally. You have to be tax exempt. You have to have a letter from the IRS saying that you are a tax exempt organization, okay? Churches automatically feel that, yeah, they have a status of being tax exempt because it's a religious organization. But in order to receive grant funding, you need a letter. You need to be authorized by the IRS to be a charitable organization. And rightly said, a church is not technically a charitable organization unless they have been authorized by the government. Okay, so I'm going to squash that myth right here. Moving on. Now, we can help you get established. We can do the paperwork for you, right? Of course, everything comes with a cost or a fee, but definitely the grant money, the long-term longevity, the things that you do for your community will totally outweigh that fee because they are looking for organizations who are in the community willing to help during this COVID time. I mean, it could be something as simple as help training people to do masks. It could be simple as training people to understand the safety skills of COVID. It is so many simple aspects of this, but yet the money is unmeasurable that you can get from this stuff. I mean, it's crazy. I have clients that receive millions of dollars for uh, being a nonprofit organization. They're doing some wonderful projects. And when COVID hit, they received money. It was just so crazy. I mean, it's almost like you just hold your hand up and say, "Hey, I want that," and then the funders are like, "Yeah, we're gonna give that to you because we know that you're gonna do good with it," and that's what they're looking for organizations who are going to do good with their money, not play around, not do something that is illegal, but they're looking for organizations that are going to do good with their money. So I will say this: if you have a plan, right? You have something in your head that you want to get out, that you want to write down, that you want to establish, we can get that going. Your plan must be real, right? I mean, that sounds kind of silly, but it must be a real plan. Like, you just can't say you're going to go up and down the street and hand out clothes to everybody. You're going to have a soup line, or you're going to have people come into your place and get free clothes. That's not a plan. That's not sustainable. That's not something that they can document. Okay. You have to have a plan within your organization. Now, 501c3 has to be established legally. You need board members, right? We need a financial budget. We need people that you're going to hire to work for the nonprofit. I mean, it is, after all, a real organization. It can be small, it can be large, it doesn't matter, but the money is there. And if you are willing to get your hands dirty and put up, whatever you need to do in the beginning to get things going, then these foundations will totally support you, but you got to be all in, right? You can't be sort of in and out and, having this program, then deciding you don't want this program. I think I'm going to do this program. You need to be consistent. Whatever you establish in your community, you need to be consistent with what you're going to do with that community. You need to have community meetings. You need to talk to the council people in the community. I mean, it's beautiful when you see all of this come together and you see what can be done in one community from one nonprofit organization. It's just such a beautiful thing. And I want to help you get there. I really want to help you not only get the funding, but establish a beacon or a head, right? Or moat, as we call it in business, in that community. You want to be able to establish something that can be longevity, right? Not something that's just quick, because let me tell you, foundations have had it. They are up to over here with people who establish things and then all of a sudden they are no more. That's why they want this type of documentation. They want to know, like, who are you? What are you doing? What are you really going to do with our money? Are you just going to pocket it? Are you going to leave our community in a worse state? Are you going to take the money and run? I mean, it's so many different aspects. Are you going to take the money, then dissolve the nonprofit organization and say, whatever happened to the money, which leaves a very, very bad taste in the foundation's mouth. They're not looking for people with fly-by-night plans. They're looking for people who really want to commit to their community. So if you are ready to do that, if you have something in your heart, you need to just go ahead and do that. The money is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. And you need to be there to grab that money. So we can talk a little more. This is just an intro video just to get you guys going. So I could divvy back on requirements, right? Requirements, we help you do that, but you have to be established with every governmental entity, meaning the federal government, the IRS, your state, local government, then your city government, okay? You need to have established board members. You need to have some type of credentials. I mean, hey, you have to have some type of experience, or maybe it's just something on your heart that you want to do. That's also pretty good. They'll take that as well within the plan that we do for you. Of course, they're looking for what the financial aspect is going to be. What are you asking for? How are you going to stabilize that? If you're building something, how will you be able to continue that? How is that going to be stable? How is that going to sustain itself? Because they can and cannot continue to give you money. They may give you a lump sum. They may give you money over time. But in their eyes, they're looking like, if we don't give you a dime, or we just give you this money, how are you going to keep it sustained over time? Or are you going to continue to try to get money? And so there are ways to sustain things like this, right? So you will have a plan that'll be sustaining, not just fly by night, but sustaining. So that's very important. Resume. I mean, there's a whole list, and I don't normally go over the whole list over this video like this because it's just so long. And the information that I give you, honestly, is really to just sort of push you into us working together to make this happen, because I'm gonna tell you, you can't do this by yourself. You can't do this on a free loan. You can't do this on a free word. You can't do this from a free video. You just can't. It has to be done professionally. You want professional money, you got to have professional work. It's just how it is in this life, right? That you're not going to get a million plus, you're not going to get 500, you're not going to get 50,000 with cheap stuff. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get that type of check. You may get $1,000, you may get $2,000. Hey, but that's probably all you're going to get. If you're talking upwards of 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand, 100,000, 500,000, I've seen it happen all the time. I'm telling you, these organizations that are in these communities are getting big checks all the time, and you are missing out because you don't want to do it professionally. You don't want to ante up to make it happen. You got to do that. And I tell you, the best benefit is you'll be doing something that you did from your heart for your community. So that is what we're talking about. So I'm glad you joined me on this video. Contact me, firstinvestinc.com or justomelia.com, so that we can get this going for you. We want to help you. We want to get you established. We want you to make a difference in your community and get that money. Okay? Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you on the next run. I'll see you on being my client. That's the run. And we're doing this together, making it happen. All right. Thank you. Bye.